come see the movie, and what they're being trained not to do happens 3 fucking times. So they come up to me after the flick and be like, "You crossed the axis." Did you know that you crossed the axis? I was like, "Yeah, 3 times." They're like, "You're not supposed to cross the axis." I'm like, "Bitch, I'm 41 and I'm Kevin Smith. I'll cross the axis." So it's fun, man. It's fun to kind of constantly shift it up. Stuff like there's no score in movies. You notice there's no score? Makes you sit there alone with your feelings about each given moment and scene. I don't telegraph how you should feel. Like normally score is it's a real trick in the trick bag of any filmmaker, man, because they know that you could patch a zillion things with score, man. Weak scene, you can make better with score. You can make that scene mean something with the right fucking score. So I'm cutting this movie, I shoot and I cut at night, and as I'm cutting it, I try to put temp music on it, and I was like, this just feels like bullshit, man. It just fucking feels fake. Like before it felt real and visceral and fucking scary and unnerving. Like I knew I couldn't make a horror movie. You know what I'm saying? Like I couldn't be a master of horror like fucking John Carpenter or Dario Argento. But I knew I could unsettle, you know, because for years chicks have been telling me like, "You're creepy." You know? I put that to work in a film and be creepy in a film. That's the best that I could kind of fucking rock. And, you know, usually you use the music to be creepy, but I felt like that was kind of cheating and shit. So let's leave it dry. So that's even creepier because it forces you to think about how you feel rather than me telling you. You know, you go to a movie and fucking you're sitting down, they got the score, it's very easy going, like the score of the movie's beginning, sit down, eat your popcorn. Hey, it's Brad Pitt. And then fucking the movie kicks in, the plot, 10 minutes later, and like, "Oh no, Brad, who's behind that door? I think that motherfucker has a knife!" And you're getting intense because the music's telling you something's about to fucking happen and shit. And that's leading an audience. You know, if we want to make you sad, we play some strings over a fucking kid talking about his dad. "Oh, champ, don't die, champ." You know, the fucking strings come in, you're fucking shattered as a human being. It's a valuable trick to have. And this one, I didn't want to use it at all. And this one, I thought was more valuable to have the audience sitting there and not know how to feel. Generally speaking, most people in the movie watch the Cooper family and go, "Fuck these people, I hate them, they're villains, blah, blah, blah." But there's one moment where I unify the crowd with the Coopers and you all agree. You're all on the same fucking page for that one moment in time. It's when he's standing up there in the sermon talking about Thailand. He's like, "Thailand, where pederasts travel thousands of miles, spend untold amounts of money to sodomize a child, a baby," and you can hear a fucking pin drop no matter where it plays. And it's almost as if the audience is like, "Well, he's right about that." You know, that's fucked up. Nobody wants to feel. You don't want to agree with a monster at any fucking point and shit like that. And because there's no music, you're forced to think about that. And or Cheyenne comes running out of the house and she's like, "There's babies in the attic, we gotta save the babies." And you start feeling for her, going, "Okay, she's the Marilyn of this monster's bunch. Like we can get behind her. She'll tell us what to do. She's fucking seemingly smart and she's got feelings for the kids." And then all of a sudden she's like the Zionist media, and you're like, "I'll fucking kill her too." So it's constantly forcing you to reevaluate how you feel. Basically, when I was creating it, I was just like, every time I know where it's going, fucking jump in another direction. Just do something completely different and try to make it work as a flick. And so when I watch it, it doesn't feel like a traditional story, a 3-act structure or something like that. It feels more like a parlor trick with really fucking cool performances in it. So I don't know, it's neat. It's neat to sit there and watch it with the audience. Watch the trick fucking work. Watch it unfold and shit. And that you don't get from a spreadsheet. That you get by going to the people. George Carlin wrote in his book, powerful fucking words that I love, 2 things that I'll take with me to the grave. One, he goes, "They won't come to my house, I have to go to them." He's like, "I've learned that after 50 years. Like, no matter how much I want them to come to my house so I can tell them jokes, I have to go out to them." And that, it's true. It's like, you've got to live in the convenient spots of people's lives. You know, those podcasts, I love them to death because it allows me to live in the nooks and cranny of your life. Rather than sitting there and focusing your attention on watching the movie, like I can be in the car with you while you're driving to work, or I could be at work with you while you're supposed to be working. You're listening to fucking me and my friends. Or I could be there for that fucking, you can get to the doctor's office, there's 10 people ahead of you, like, this fucking blows, and you read the highlights for children already. So you're just like, "Oh, fuck, I'm screwed." And you grab your smartphone, and fucking suddenly I'm there for you. Me and Scott are telling you about Forgeticus or something like that. And suddenly I'm your best friend in that miserable moment. You know, it's not like you're losing your life, but sitting around the doctor's office fucking sucks, but suddenly it doesn't suck so much, you know, because I'm giving you something to do, take your mind off it. So if you can live in those fucking moments of people's lives when they turn to you, when they need you the fucking most, when they're most bored, Instead of being like, you, come the fuck out and see my shit and tell me about it later on. If you're there with that shit, you're giving them a different reason to come out. You're personalizing the entertainment experience. It's not as simple as like, hey, go see my movie and let me know what you think about it online. I just want your money. Instead, it's just like, hey man, yeah, I do want your money, don't get me wrong, but I'm willing to show up and personally take it from you. And tell you stories about it afterwards. And so it's, I don't know, for me, it's all about giving something a little bit different, giving something a little bit extra. I know what it takes to get me to come out of the house. So if anyone else is like me, you figure you gotta over-deliver. And you know, making a movie like this, if you're not gonna mass market it, you should kind of accompany it out into the world. Like one of the best things I heard all year, you know, because we took some shit at Sundance. Motherfuckers just tried to punch holes in the boat. Motherfuckers called me crazy, like literally tried to destroy my career. And I don't mean that in a dramatic, they tried to destroy me. Literally tried to destroy my career. Say I imploded, say I pissed off Hollywood, I burned every bridge. All these things that like didn't fucking happen and shit like that. And the most comforting thing happened at Comic-Con. Didn't happen to me, I only heard about it afterwards. Francis Ford Coppola came out and he goes, I have this movie with Val Kilmer and I'm going to take it on the road, city by city, and accompany it. I'm going to change the edit every night, do something kind of funky and original, but I'm going to take my art out on the road and accompany it and stand there and buttress my work and shit. And that made me feel like, I don't believe me, I don't think he took my idea, but like, that's the smart play. That's the greatest American filmmaker, one of the greatest American filmmakers, who's like, fuck it, man, I'd spent all my time making this. I don't want to put it out there anymore. I want to go up and soak up the fucking glory. Like, it's so awesome to come here and fucking talk after the movie's done. And people are still here. It's not like they're streaming out going, Jesus Christ. It's a wonderful fucking feeling and stuff. And that goes away when you get into the mass marketing of film, where it's like, you know, more like you sit down at a junket with fucking 200 journalists as opposed to sitting in an audience with 200 paying customers. So for me, I was like, it makes more sense to put marketing to the side and self-promote. You know, I'm a self-promoter. I'm a self-marketer. I'm pretty damn good at it. It's why I've subsisted or existed in this business as long as I've had it. I've never had killer grosses, but I just know how to fucking keep going from project to project and shit like that. So, I don't know, bringing that to bear for the film that I love so much, rather than just being like, here, you take it, you sell it, you figure this shit out. It's been gratifying. It's awesome. It feeds you. It fucking gives you a shit ton of fucking inspiration, energy. You can't believe the amount of stories I collect just going out around the world, like showing the movie. People come up to you afterwards and things they say and shit like that, how your work has impacted them. You never see that on a fucking spreadsheet. So it's neat. It's neat to go out there in the world and fucking accompany the movie. It's not altruistic. I get something from it. Now I leave here tonight, I go home and fuck the shit out of my wife. And that's because of all you guys. And you know, you are the wind beneath my wings, blood in my cock. But I can only do that. I walk out of here feeling fantastic. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need to go do some fucking coke or heroin, you know, weed, yes, but I don't have to go do something to make me feel better or to escape or to fucking like, oh, I can't fucking get right. I get right here. I show a movie, I talk to the crowd afterwards, ain't nothing righter than that. Like, if I could spend my life doing this, once a night, twice a night, like, that always appealed to me, rather than like, put it on 1,000 screens, man. Eventually I'll catch up to people who saw it and hear their opinions and shit. It's more valuable to me to be there at every public exhibition of the movie and talk afterwards, because why the fuck did I make it? Why the fuck did I spend 5 years of my life trying to put this shit together just to when it's done, with the moment it's birthed, I turn around and go like, you fucking take it. That's like having a kid and being like, can you raise this? Like, no way, I got it this far. I'm gonna keep going because it's been gratifying this far. Who knows what lies around the corner if I stay engaged with the work? And for me, the experiment keeps going. Like, this comes out on VOD September 1st. You can watch it in your fucking house. And October 18th, you can buy the DVD and the Blu-ray. And then right after that, we're gonna still take the movie on the fucking road. I have the ability to take this to any fucking small theater like this in the world, 250 to 500 seater, and sell an event like this. You know, movie and Q&A for 20 bucks a ticket and shit. Report that gross to the box office so that even though my movie's on DVD, and that's traditionally when all box office reporting stops, I could still have the ability to pull $10,000, $20,000 a weekend, and that puts you on their stupid fucking chart, that stupid variety chart, and that's all I want. 2 years from now, I'll be looking at this stupid fucking chart and still see Smodcast, you know, like right around 60. One of the most thrilling things I saw is when we released the movie ourselves, Smodcast Pictures. I looked at the variety chart, and you look down, it's like Universal, Warner Brothers, you know, New Line, all these studios. Way down the bottom, Smod. You know? And that did it for me. I was like, holy shit, that podcast is now putting out movies. Fuck on. And so for me, I was like, rather than, people keep going, when's the movie coming out? I'm like, forever.